Our next guest star is on the popular new HBO series entitled Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. You can see it Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a very funny John Oliver. Come on out.
That's from Oliver Twist. That's either kind or extremely offensive.
So, I think it's kind.
Let's go with kind.
Yeah, but Paul doesn't have an offensive bone in his body. I don't know if this is the case around the country, but oh my gosh, what a tremendous success and splash you and your show have made. You can't go anywhere without seeing posters of you about the show on buses and on billboards.
I'm sorry about that.
No. I mean, it must be. Is it? Are you a little self-conscious?
It's awful. That? Yeah, it's awful. I don't think there's really an upside for anyone. I don't really have a face that you walk past and think, oh, good, I'm glad that's there. It's not like, oh, what suit's he wearing? I'd like to buy that. It's the opposite of that.
No, I think it generates a great respect.
I think it generates the opposite of that, though. I was hoping there would be nothing near where I live. Right. And I go to this diner a lot, and the guy, there was one put up on a phone box just outside, and he was furious when I next went in, saying, "Who are you? Who are you?" And I said, "I'm nobody," and that reassured him. He said, "I thought so. I thought you were nobody."
But now,
that's good.
But before,
that was good for him.
Before the show,
yeah,
there must be a campaign, there must be a strategy about this. Were you consulted about putting your picture?
I was. I don't think I had quite the response they were looking for, because they had like a folder and saying, we're going to have buses, billboards, and we'll put stuff in papers.
Sure.
And my first response was, when does this all get to come down? Yeah. And that was not what they were looking for. I think they were looking for, thank you very much. Thank you very much for putting so much time and effort into this. Not, when does this all get to be removed from humanity's eyes?
Yeah, when will you people stop doing your job?
That's right. When will you do it less well?
But you must be enjoying the show. It's a weekly show. It's on one night a week,
yeah,
right?
So, yeah, I used to work at the Daily Show with Jon Stewart, so I'm used to kind of the daily turnaround, and there's something, as you know, there's something great about that, because there's a mental clarity. The problem with the best thing about being on every day is that you don't have time to wallow in failure. And
boy, you are talking to the president of that club. Absolutely. I know exactly.
I know. So what I've found is that, with a week, you can really do some personal mental damage. You can really wallow in a bathtub of self-loathing. It's a jacuzzi of regret.
I understand entirely. And what do you... Tell me something about your wife. I remember a fascinating story about what she does. She's a triage nurse.
Well, she was in the army. She was in the army. Right. She was with 1st Cavalry in the army, and she was a combat medic in Iraq. And yet, since then, thank you very much. Thank you. Since then, she goes to disaster zones occasionally with veterans groups and helps out there. And I, in my life, like to take all the stuff that she does and waste that goodwill by wasting a lifetime.
Yeah.
She basically carries our goodwill into the afterlife, and I'll just put 50% of her excellent choice of life is mine.
But does that make you just feel like a little carnival worker or something like?
Yeah, of course it does. Well, yeah, because when I was making the decision to go to HBO, she was in the Philippines. She was doing triage in the Philippines. I got to speak to her once on a satellite phone, and there was no way to pivot the conversation to tell her I'm going to do a new show, because she was saying, we're doing emergency C-sections and amputations.
Lives,
yeah. And there's no way to say, I've got some even bigger news.
Forget the typhoon.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Premium cable. Explain that to them, and everything will feel better.
Oh, my.
It makes you feel as bad as you should feel.
Yeah, it does. I can see where that focuses the perspective.
You know that.
I do know that. But she must be amused by your sense of humor.
No,
right?
no, I'm not.
Really?
No. I'm not. She is not. Look, I'm not a fan of myself. But
wow.
if anything, she's even less so. Yeah, I'm not even... She loves Martin Short. The only reason she's here tonight is not because I'm here.
Is it Martin Short? Oh, she's
a huge Martin Short fan, but her #1 favourite is Jim Gaffigan. You know Jim
he's
Gaffigan.
very funny, yeah. From Indiana, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and we were doing a gig together, like a charity gig, and she'd never seen him before. And he was doing stand-up, and I heard this laughter to the side of me that I've never heard come out of her body before. She was literally like buckled over, laughing, holding her side, slapping the table in front of her. And when he finished, she turned to me, I swear this is true, she turned to me and said, "Why can't you do that?"
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
It's like a page out of my diary.
We're the same person.
Yes, John Oliver, ladies and gentlemen, last week tonight, Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Continued success.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
to see you.
Thank you so much.
John Oliver.